Hell yeah.
100 will be a cool milestone for sure.
All right. Well, I am now live on the YouTube as well. Welcome in,
Let me
everybody. Today we're
let
talking
me
about
open.
Undead Unluck. We're going to start here in a second.
Yeah, let me open that up too.
Yeah, I'm just got to pull up a character list. Otherwise, I do not remember anyone's names ever.
Mm.
I think you sent me a Kengan. Oh, never mind. That's the one I sent you.
It's like you're like this is getting confusing. I don't know. I haven't. Briggs, is there a specific way to like open up YouTube lives? Because I haven't gotten like I'm on the YouTube page for Rank Cafe, but oh, here it is. Okay,
It might just take a second. We've only been live for like 20 seconds.
I got. What up, RTM random?
Well then, yo, I should have totally linked the rank. I got rated earlier, and I was telling people about the podcast.
Hmm.
I just didn't even link Rank Cafe. I'm an idiot.
At least you told them about it.
Yeah, I did tell them about it. All right, well, you guys
All right.
ready? You ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Okay. I just wanted to like double check how many episodes we got, but like yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like 76, something like that. All right. Three, two, one. What up, everyone? Welcome back to the Anime Virgin. Today we got Undead Unluck with your co-hosts, me, Gozen from Anime Uproar, and Briggs ADA. What up, Briggs?
Yo, what's up, Gozen? How's it going, bro?
Going good. Excited to talk about this. I don't know why you recommended it yet, so I'm looking forward to just hearing why you wanted to tackle this one right now.
Honestly, you just asked what we were watching next, and I'm like, I watched 2 episodes of Unluck, and I think it had a pretty good start. It's got an interesting premise, and people are talking about it in the community a little bit. It's one of the more popular anime this season, slightly. Um, this and a couple others are kind of popping, so I figure we might as well check it out.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So I'm always curious as to like how you decide if it's like one you like, if it's something that's hype in the community and stuff like that. So I will say I'm definitely a big fan of it. I
Really,
like it a
hell yeah.
lot. Yeah, yeah. No, for sure. I mean, there's so much to like about it. It's very fresh, very original, right? I don't I'm not saying it's never happened in fiction, but the idea of a guy who's undead searching for a way to die by any means necessary, in and of itself, you don't see a lot, especially in shonen,
That's
right? Like
fair.
you don't see especially main characters, like maybe some villain or something like that, but you don't see a main character like that. So I thought it was a very unique perspective, and and then obviously the whole him with her, the way unluck works, and as a superpower, and how it could kind of be put on him, and he can't die, so he's like invincible, and then he could go in the vicinity of the bad guy, and then they just both take the damage, but he revives, the other guy doesn't. It's just a very creative. So I gotta say, one of the things that stood out to me was just the freshness and uniqueness of a show like this. And that could be my limited knowledge of shows like this, but definitely, as far as my catalog goes, this was unique and I liked it a lot.
Yeah, that's honestly one of the reasons I recommended it. I think it's got a unique premise. I only watched the 2 episodes prior to recommending you watch it and like deciding to do it for the podcast. I think it's got a unique premise, and off the first 2 episodes, I really liked the main characters. Like I felt like I cared about the characters pretty instantly. You got Fuko and Andy, I believe their names are, or that's what I'm gonna refer to them as. And yeah, like you said, like their both their powers and even their character dynamics just intertwine and work together really well. And I think that's why it's got such a strong start.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that even like there's so much stuff to love about it, but even the fact that you have all these shows where they're shy about the relationship and stuff like that, and this dude's like naked all the time, and she's like he like touches her boob in order to like achieve this insane level of unluck, because the more and the plot asks for it, because the more she likes someone and the further they go, sort of thing, the bigger the unluck is going to be.
Yeah, it's
So
definitely like
yeah,
some type of value. Like the more feelings she has for the person and cares, the more like it provides to the extent of the unluck, which is cool. So it's not just about how far you go with her necessarily. It's also about like how do you make her feel in those moments.
exactly. And that sort of, for his perspective, she kind of explained already that they can't just have sex. She has to be in love with him for that to actually work, or else she'll just hate him and he'll never die. So
Yeah, like a,
it's
a
just
little kiss on the cheek after like Andy like cut her hair and saved her was like enough to cause I don't know, was it like an atomic bomb? Was it a meteor? I can't was it a meteor, right? I think it was a meteor that hit the ground.
there's usually like big shit. Yeah,
Yeah, but I'm
I
saying it
do
was, it
recall a
was a small
meteor.
kiss that caused like a meteor in that moment because of the value she felt and like the feeling she felt in that moment. Um,
Yeah, there's always something, right? Sometimes it's like just explosives. Sometimes it's like a laser nearby, like a light laser. There, something always happens. Yeah, and in some shows, you'd be like, yo, what's the like? Look at that coincidence. Like, it's unbelievable. But like here, since they really quantify luck, like I always talk about King in One Punch Man
mhm.
having the superpower of luck, right? But some people don't even take it seriously because it's hard for them to even fathom the idea of luck as a power. But here they really emphasize it, like, dude, it's gonna happen. Like, you can't avoid it. The
Yeah,
unluck is real, and so I feel like it's almost gonna make it easier to look at other shows and be like, okay, this person actually has the power of luck. It's not just a coincidence.
yeah, that's true. I never even thought about that with King. That's actually pretty. That's possible within the world of One Punch Man. I'd say.
Yeah, and I think King was talked about before about being like lucky in a data book or something about that being like his superpower. And I think it really works in this way as well. Like it just turns out that he gets the credit for everything, even when it makes no sense. So yeah. Here it's even more fun though because it's not always Saitama there that kind of actually saves the day. It could be literally anything like a natural disaster, science going off. Like, so
Yeah,
it's very interesting to see what's going to happen. And it's one of the appeals of the show because you know something is coming. And you also know it's going to be bigger depending on what they do. And so the anticipation of even the last episode, this episode 7, where the zombie woman who wanted to get married, the teacher, was running towards the guy. Like I didn't know what would happen, but I'm like, I know something's gonna fucking
yeah. It
happen.
definitely keeps you on the edge of your seat, and there's some strategy involved in the fight as well. It's not just mindless. Oh, touch me and run towards. Well, sometimes it's like that. There's definitely logic and strategy behind the fighting and the powers, which I like. Although one thing I want to say about this show, it's fucking so over the top. I love it. Like one minute it can make me laugh, the next minute it's like super super wholesome. The next minute it's super super tragic and like killing me on the like on the inside, like super dark moments, super sad moments. And then like the next moment it's super fucking cringe. Like it's just all over the place, over the top crazy, and it keeps me interested. I think the
Yeah,
only time I was ever slightly bored was like in I think it was episode 3 or 4, the girl Gina, like the
yeah, yeah.
beginning of the fight with Gina, and like her over the top cringe personality was kind of killing me. But even the ending of that fight and towards the climax of that fight, like I was super invested in not just Andy and Fuko, but also the character I hated, Gina. Like they pulled it off.
Yeah, you know what's they did, and you know what's funny? Like Fuko, it's clearly Andy and Fuko are sort of being set up as the relationship and that they're gonna be together. But Fuko is constantly watching him like do stuff with
Yeah,
other girls,
yeah.
whether it's Gina, whether it's like making out with Gina, whether it's marrying the zombie girl. Like it's so funny. It's so funny, and that actually gets her closer to him to just like see him with a bunch of chicks.
The fact that they made Andy marrying a zombie girl part of like the or like that little fight and arc was way too wholesome.
Yeah, and the funny thing as well is that he asked permission. He's like, you wouldn't consider it cheating, right? If I married the zombie girl, and she's like, no way, go for it.
Go down the aisle, fuck it.
But even she's even touched by the fact that he'd asked that, right? So she's definitely falling hard for him. I think it's clear to see, and I look forward to seeing signs of it throughout. But one thing that sort of did stand out to me was she keeps talking about how she's like unlovable and stuff. Like she's not attractive at all. Doesn't have an attractive body. Like I didn't get it. Did you get it? Like
Sorry,
did it just not transfer over in the anime?
can you say that again? Whoa.
So she was saying in the beginning like she has an unlovable body, an unattractive body or whatever. Like do you see it?
Who?
Like
Fuko?
Fuko, yeah. Because like okay, she's not like super tall or anything, but like why does she think her body is so like
I don't
unattractive?
I don't think it's about the physical features. I think she was just saying that like she can't touch or kiss anybody, so her
Okay,
body's
so
like undesirable and like
I
she
see.
can't have
Okay.
she can't have physical intimacy with anybody.
I see. Okay. So that makes more sense because I'm like looking at her and I'm like, if they're trying to make an unattractive chick, like they could have done much more unattractive than
Yeah.
that.
Like she considers her body unlovable because she can't like
Okay.
have
All right.
physical contact with anybody.
That makes more sense. And then he's now challenging that assumption.
Dude, how funny of a moment was it? So, in like the first episode or second episode, you get the little kiss on the cheek scene, followed by the meteor, and after the meteor, he regenerates, and he's like, and that was I think one of the earlier times that he experiences the unluck. And he's just like, if we got a meteor for a kiss, imagine what would happen if we fucked. And then they end the episode. Like that was like the post credit scene. I'm pretty sure.
No, and I just respect shows that actually like go there and say stuff like
Yeah,
that and don't beat
uh,
around the bush.
a little bit more mature and like are able to go there with their comedy.
Exactly. I appreciate that. And although obviously they did a good job of her explaining like I have to be in love with you, like it'll never happen if you know we just have sex and I'm not in love with you, so he has to work for it sort of thing. It just works in a
Yeah.
lot of ways. And he's so charismatic despite the fact that he just wants to die. Like
Yeah, true.
he's not like you might think a dude wants to die, he's like gloomy, he's like, oh, why can't I die? Whatever. Dude's so charismatic, dude's like so over the top, so lovable. Just walks around naked like he owns the place, you know, in every
Yeah.
situation.
Chad
So
is asking if we're caught up. Yeah, we watched the seven
the
episodes that
first
are
seven
currently
episodes.
out.
Yeah.
Someone said there are so many shows out right now. Why are you talking about this garbage? It was just an anime that I was watching in the
No,
moment, bro,
it's
and I
great.
enjoy it. I think
It's
it
great.
has some cringe moments, and there was a couple times where I was maybe getting slightly pulled away, but
Like what?
it
Like
just
what?
it was like half an episode with Gina and her voice and some of the conversation and dialogue. It was just killing me. It was
Hmm.
making me cringe. But literally, like if that's half an episode, the other 6.5 episodes are nothing but like fantastic in my opinion.
And so I just looked,
Even the climax with Gina, like I came around.
yeah, exactly. And I just looked at, for example, just a quick search of what people are thinking about it on IMDb, and it's 8.6. So I
Yeah.
mean, like that is a great score. So yeah, I think a lot of people do appreciate it based on that, but maybe there are more hype, quote unquote, hype stuff airing right now. But
Well, there is Shangri-La Frontier that I'm enjoying, but I still think this is better. We could watch that at some point. What else am I watching? I think I'm watching like 3 anime. Oh, Emerald's Shadow season 2 is fucking fire. Have you watched Emerald's Shadow yet, Gozen?
we watched it together on the podcast, bro.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. So we could maybe do season 2 then,
We
eventually.
did. I
We
think
did
we
season 2?
did, or
No
we
way.
did a second part to it
Yeah, well maybe we did a 2-part for Emerald's Shadow season
for
like
season one or something. Maybe.
yeah, because it
Yeah,
was
I'll have to go
24.
back and
There's
check.
no way because it's just
That's funny
it just
because
started airing now. There's like only like 7 episodes
okay,
out.
then there's no way. Yeah, but so we were watching in preparation probably for this one. So yeah, we could totally go for that. But it's so funny because like we just did it like 2 episodes on it
Oh,
before we did Can't Get Ashura, and you're like, yo, did you ever watch this, bro?
See, my problem is I also do like multiple podcasts, so it's like I can't remember if we did it for Anime Virgin or if I just
I
talked about
see.
it for like 20 minutes on Rant Cafe. Like we
Or
never,
even like even live streamed on it or something like
yeah,
that.
exactly. Like I did a whole 45-minute conversation with Animac about Attack on Titan, but we haven't done it for Anime Virgin yet, technically.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea too, because I haven't watched it yet, and that would give me a good excuse to watch it.
Oh
So
yeah,
yeah,
you
I'm
gotta
open to
watch it,
that.
dude. I think it
Okay,
enhances the original source material for sure.
let's do that next week then, if you're down
Yeah,
to
I'm done.
re-talk about it.
Absolutely.
Cool.
I might need to rewatch it honestly because I think my biggest problem was not that it wasn't quality. It was that my memory is so fucking bad that it sometimes I felt like I was a little bit disengaged because it's just like I feel like there's tension between these characters, but I don't even remember this dude's name.
Fair enough.
But anyway, let's get back into Undead Unluck. Do you have a favorite moment that you want to talk about?
Favorite moment. Um, hmm. I do like fresh right now. Pen is fucking awesome, and he's fresh in my mind right now because of the seventh episode, where they figure out that the way to kind of fight this zombie stuff, becoming a zombie, is to have dreams that
Yeah.
you're looking forward to, right? And for her, she had a dream, the kids had a dream, like one of them had a dream to open up like or have flowers and then give her teacher flowers, and that sort of added to her life time limit before she becomes a zombie. And Shen, if you paid attention, was like, I want to be the best, and his number just fucking skyrocketed. It was insane.
Yeah.
Like how determined he is, and I just like his character a lot all the time as well. Where he's just like this confident dude, uh, in any situation. Even when the girl threw herself in the zombie situation, they don't know if they're going to be able to make it back. He follows her. It's all good. So I really enjoyed Shen and just his confidence and the way he carries himself in the final episode.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot of likable characters in this series, and he's definitely one of them. One of my favorite moments is so you get this apocalypse fucking book creature god thing. Like I don't even know what it is, and he's like giving out these quests, and everyone like is like you would think you'd be scared of it or reveal or like look up to it or whatever, and or there'd be some level of that. And Andy just goes and fucking grabs the book.
Exactly. Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck. But it was interesting that he found himself in a situation where, like, he could have been killed. That he could
Yeah.
have got Fuko killed because there are people that he just can't touch, especially when they team up. So it's gonna be interesting to see him working through the agency and like the clashes that'll come from that because they clearly aren't the strongest, and he doesn't give a fuck about him getting killed, right? Obviously, he doesn't want to be captured again and go to prison like he did for a long time, but he does care about Fuko because she's his key to the best death ever, which is what he
Hmm.
wants. Like he wants the greatest death ever, but also he is getting feelings for her. I'm sure. Like I'm sure it is like
Yeah,
there's actual feelings there, and
I
we'll
feel like
see
there's
if in
gonna
the
be
end.
this thing where it's like, oh, now that he finally can die, maybe there's something like that he wants to
Yes.
live a little longer for, and that could be
Now,
Fuko.
I think because the show is sort of based on the dynamic that they won't do like that they don't do that because it's sort of like that's sort of his goal, and to just take that goal away from him would
Hmm.
sort of confuse the story. So I don't think they'll do that until they want to wrap up or whatever.
Yeah, that
But
has to
I
be an
do,
ending for sure.
yeah, but I can see it going something like that. It's like, oh, you can finally die, and then he's like, oh, I don't want to. But then it's like, how are they gonna have sex though? You know what I mean?
It always comes back to that, goes in it.
Yeah. Yeah, it always comes back to that because that's the stated goal, right? For them to fall in love, have sex, and then Andy to have this glorious death that he never could have until then. But
But
I see him not wanting to die. But
I feel like in order for him to die, like every piece of him would have to like completely disintegrate without a cell remaining. So it's
yeah, it's
like,
like a killing cell in Dragon Ball Z kind of situation.
yeah, I just feel like anything that could do that is gonna have such. It's just gonna destroy the planet. Like the planet is gonna explode.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, I do want to say one really really cool moment is during the fight with Gina. Andy has Fuko on his back and giving her like a piggyback ride type of thing. But her shirt's like over him, so it's like they're skin to skin.
Exactly.
They're skin to
Yeah,
skin.
yeah.
But the thing about her power is she gives people unluck when she touches them, but it only affects them after it's released. So
Hmm.
it was kind of like he was like charging, charging up during this fight this entire time for the one moment that he was able to like get within, because this girl's ability had I don't honestly don't fucking understand her ability fully, but basically she was able to create like a spherical dome around her and she was controlling things from a distance, and he finally was able to get his head um inside the barrier or whatever, inside her barrier. And he understood something about Fuko's ability where it's like, oh, if I do this, it's going to be a ranged attack. However, he assumed it had to be light based for whatever reason. I can't remember. I can't.
To get within her barrier because her barrier, like light can pass through it, but nothing else can, sort of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like light capacitor, but nothing else. So it has to be a light-based thing. And then this random fucking spaceship appears and shoots a laser beam. Like, was it a UFO? What was it?
I don't. I think they did establish that that was there already
Oh, okay.
in
Maybe it
some way,
was.
and then he sort of knew that that he bet that that would be the thing that goes off, and it was. But yeah, so her thing is unchanged, so she can somehow like use that to create barriers, to create things that don't change and works to her advantage. It's fun to see how they use stuff creatively. Obviously, it didn't work on her, even though she wanted everyone to think it did. But yeah,
Yeah, but it's just very, very cool how he like the strategy behind that fight, understanding it's going to be a distance attack and that only light could go through the barrier. Um, I don't know. It was just
yeah, you
it
can
was
use
great, and then it
strategy
was
as
also
well.
beautiful and tragic in the end.
Yeah, exactly. But and even they even flipped the thing where it's like you thought she captured him and like imprisoned him. Obviously, fuck her. Like why why would you do that to our main character? But then he even framed it as he kind of wanted it because he'd have a lot of time to test his mortality
Hmm.
and he could figure out what works and potentially something works, potentially something doesn't. And then he broke out. So it wasn't, he didn't even frame it as it being a negative thing that, she captured him.
Yeah.
And he also, she fell in love with him like every girl does in the show. But
I think the
um,
concept of immortality and like not being able to die or living a really really long like time is very interesting because
I do
Andy
too.
doesn't feel pain at this point, or he still apparently he still feels all the pain, but he's just experienced it so much that it's almost like static to him being cut in half, which is interesting. But also like an experience like being captured to someone like us that has like a limited like time on Earth. It's like if I was captured for 10 years, it's like fucking 10 years of my life was stolen. Like I would hate them. But if I could live for 1,000 years, 10 years is fucking 10 minutes. You know?
Yeah. And the other thing is his goal is to end himself.
Yeah.
So a way to do that is to just, for these guys to torture him, try to end him in different ways, fire, whatever it is, and he's getting research while this is happening.
Yeah.
Even though for anyone else it would be horrible.
Exactly.
But so I get that twist, and I get how he said, they'd have a rematch and then he'd beat her next time, and he fulfilled that. So just, and the combination of Andy and Fuko, I think, is also now amazing.
I
They make
agree.
such a good team, the way they work off of each other. And it's always been an interesting thing. Like vampires are also that undead creature. It's always been interesting to humans, the idea of someone who can like live forever. But it's fun how this makes it so like modern and like, he has a girlfriend and it's funny anime stuff as well thrown into this. It definitely gives it a unique taste.
Yeah, I agree. One thing I want to say, just talking about Andy's like whatever he's been around for a long time. There's this anime called Frieren. Have you watched it?
No,
I
does
think
not even ring a bell.
we should probably do an episode on that at some point because it is airing right now, and it's really interesting
Hmm.
because you have this elf that lives for hundreds and hundreds of years, but she parties up with like adventurers that are like human, so they like obviously they have more normal lifespans, and it's pretty beautiful and it's really at the very least interesting. Sometimes it's not super entertaining, but it's like very beautiful and interesting.
Well, it
The
sounds slice of
concept.
life-ish as well at times, the way you're
Yes, it
describing it.
definitely is because you have this fucking elf that could live forever. So 10 years to her is nothing, and she could spend 10 years looking for a flower. You know, like
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, it is interesting, and to even consider like how much we learn about the human condition based off of different people. I think that's interesting to think about. Another funny thing that's just like there's so many comedic moments in this is that Andy flies around by using his like squirting blood as like a jetpack, which is
yeah,
another fucking thing. Like everybody will just die out in that situation, and this dude could just
yeah. His blood, I guess,
fly around and
continues
move
to
around like that.
regenerate, and he knows how to like make it like shoot out of his body at this point. After all these years, so he uses it for he can fucking fly with his blood, like by cutting
It's
off his
just
feet.
yeah.
He uses his fingers as like pistols, literally, like the end of his finger will shoot off and like use it to kill people. Um, Even just seeing him as a
Yeah,
flying
exactly.
head is hilarious.
I think that that all of that stuff just makes the show funnier and it's funny when it's like an inside joke where if you explain this to someone they'd be like what the fuck, like a non-anime fan.
Oh yeah.
And this is one of those shows where it's like, so he jetpacks around using his blood. Every time he touches her boobs, like a meteor hits the earth. It's just,
Yeah, this is
it's
definitely
so
one.
wild.
It's one of those
And
shows I probably wouldn't recommend it to someone newer into anime, but anyone who likes anime, like in chat that hasn't seen it, I would definitely recommend giving it a watch. I think it's pretty good.
yeah. And like Raph's Revenge says, like the physical comedy of Andy's body is
Oh
so
yeah.
good. It is. And like even just for some reason, just a dude walking around naked can be hilarious. And like you see that in Nudist Beach as well in what's that one? The same guys that did Gurren Lagann, the clothes one. Now I'm trying to think of it.
I have no clue.
But whatever. Nudist Beach is like these guys who like also like are against clothing.
Oh,
Kill a Kill,
Kill
yeah,
la
it was that.
I didn't.
Are
I
against
dropped Kill la
clothing.
I wasn't a fan.
I get it, but like it's just there is something funny about it, and they really use like Andy just being naked all the time, and Fuko Izumo like just being a girl who just has normal girl shyness, and it's always hilarious. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to see
I
what
had
other
like a
crazy
sneeze coming on.
situations they get into.
I have like a sneeze that it's like when you feel like you're gonna sneeze and it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, no,
Ah,
I do that all the time. I look like I like bit a sour
yeah.
lemon or something when I do that. And I'm just like,
And now I'm not gonna sneeze. Oh my god, that was crazy. Sorry.
that's all
I just
good.
interrupted
That's
the
all
podcast for that, but chat probably saw me like literally like like looking like I bit into a lemon.
good.
Someone in chat said hentai is anime. I mean, yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's animated for sure.
I
I,
feel
I
like
do think this hits a good balance of like it's not hentai obviously, but it hits a good balance of like ecchi comedy, which I think can just be very enjoyable.
yeah, and I don't think the ecchi is too over the top and either. They apply some of the
It's
ecchi to the
not, no.
plot, like it relates to their powers and their fights and their strategy, and it's not really anything too
No, it's
crazy that
not.
like it's distracting or unsettling in any way. Like I don't think it takes
Exactly.
away
It's just
by
it's
any
just
means.
funny. Yeah, it's just funny and like you appreciate it and it's always gonna be funny that like it's such a great dynamic that now like the more power they need, the further they have to go sexually or whatever. Or
Yeah,
like
it is a funny fucking concept.
it's a funny concept.
Um, someone that said hentai is anime. I don't know why I find that so funny that he felt like he had to come in and say that. But yeah, I think anime is just anything from literally animated children's cartoons to hentai and everything in between. It's just anime is just Japanese cartoons basically, bro.
Yeah, and this is definitely in between.
Yeah, this is somewhere in between.
Did you say who your favorite character is?
It's got to be Andy, right? It's
Andy?
hard for me to choose. I do like the guy that you like as well. Clearly not as much since I do not remember his name. What's his name?
Shen.
Shen.
In Giddy's growing on me. Like in the beginning when they were like he was the enemy. Like I do like the laid back vibe, obviously, from the beginning. And he spared them as well, and he gave them a way out where he's like, okay, kill one of the other guys and then you can join it. You guys are interesting. I did like him to an extent, but I don't know, for some reason, just this last episode, how he goes along with them, how he doesn't like say, Izumo, you idiot, like why are you putting us in this situation where we get this zombie number on us, like time limit, and then the fact that he's so confident in his dream of being the best that his number just skyrockets. Like there's just something like he just seems untouchable to this villain who's pretty like badass and dangerous to normal people. So there's something like really cool about that, and we'll see if it keeps up. Like obviously Andy we've spent more time with him, and even him driving a truck is entertaining.
It's true.
Like
But
that was
I like
fun too.
their dynamic, even with Shen involved as well. Like him on top of the truck was funny, and then kind of like reprimanding Andy for just jumping in, even though he warned him.
As long as it's clear, like obviously, and it will be, I'm sure that like Andy and Fuko are a thing. then I think Shen tagging along would be hilarious.
Of
And
course.
like even the truck thing where he was like outside of the truck and then he comes in, he's like, "Yo, I'm freezing. Can I come back in here?"
Yeah, I feel like that's
Um,
the dynamics already the case very quickly.
yeah, exactly.
Um, yeah, I don't really know what else to talk about right now towards like this current fight between Andy, Fuko, Shen, and Spoil, which I don't even know what this Spoil thing is like able to create zombies. It's in its second phase now. It's shooting laser beams like fucking Frieza. It's a pretty over the top fight, and that's one thing we haven't said. I think the fights are actually animated quite well. Choreography wise, but also this aesthetically, I think the fights are really cool to watch.
They are. It's a well
And
animated show.
we haven't finished this fight. Like we don't know what's gonna happen yet.
No, we
If
haven't.
they're gonna kill the spoil, capture it, etc. I'm losing my voice here. Oh my god.
No, we haven't, and I think like obviously they're having trouble with it, but like I glimpsed the preview after the ending credits, and like I do think Chen will help out, and together they'll figure out a way to do it.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it is becoming the longest arc, I guess, so far,
Yeah.
because we kind of jumped from this situation to them being chased to them joining the organization, and now this poisoned or zombie town has been the longest so far. And yeah, hopefully the payoff will be good too. Were you surprised when you found out that the zombie lady was the teacher, or did you see it coming like me?
No, I was surprised.
Yeah, I saw it coming. I was like when they started talking about the teacher, I'm like, yo, that's probably her. Cause she said like I want marriage, like I want to marry a
Yeah.
handsome guy. So right away I'm like,
Oh
that's
yeah, I
her.
think at that point it
Yeah,
clicked
yeah.
for me as well.
Exactly. And then Fuko later is like, oh my god, it's her. So I'm like, I was just thinking like, whoa, did you get it at that point where she said it, or was it like
No, I
before
think it
that?
was when she said about marrying a handsome man.
Yeah,
I think so at
exactly.
least. I don't remember. I don't
That
fully
that's
remember.
where it clicked for me.
Best leading lady in the history of Jump. I do like Fuko, but I've only watched 7 episodes, so I can't say that as of yet. But is the manga finished, guys? Is it like a concluded series,
That's a good
or
question.
is it still like happening in Jump?
So someone Raph says, I'm betting we end on chapter 52 or maybe 56.
That's cool. The
So it doesn't
manga,
seem like it's gonna be a
yeah.
long series.
So the manga is still ongoing. I do want to say it was an interesting concept to see them being given quests to take out these things. Like I wonder what happens if they fail a quest.
Well, yeah, because obviously Chen doesn't want to disappoint them, but
Hmm.
for me, I'm thinking like it wouldn't be that big of a deal.
Well, we don't know what Apocalypse will do,
But
and
you're right, we don't
and
know.
we know there's this thing about the rules which are weird. Like I don't fully comprehend it if they're doing these quests to I guess they're doing these quests to prevent these rules from being added to society and the world. Um, but I don't fully understand it.
Yeah, we'll see. I do think that obviously they're trying to kill the guy now because they want to prevent anybody from being zombified, right? Like
Yeah,
the main girl. And
but
so
apparently
I
there's more
do,
to it.
but they're not supposed to kill it. They're supposed to capture it, right? So that would be a fail of a mission. So I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, because it seems like Andy's ready to kill it and to say fuck it the mission at this point.
And that was what he was saying, but then now that these guys seem to have a handle on it and they can control the number on themselves by like reigniting their
Hmm.
dreams, I think perhaps they will be able to capture it. We'll see. But I do think it's funny how and interesting how, although Andy is undead, I heard in the chat like that kind of kills tension. That's why it's important that like Fuko and their relationship is there because even in this latest chapter, Fuko almost like he's like, yo, if this laser touches Fuko, she's dead. So there is that tension with Fuko always being able to die,
Hmm.
even though like obviously ignoring plot armor, but there is this possibility. So I think that makes up for the fact that Andy is on the
Yeah, there's still tension in fights because Fuko is there.
there is stakes.
Yeah. Anyway, I
Yeah,
think
so that's pretty much
yeah.
yeah,
We came to
pretty
that
much
conclusion
it.
at the same time there.
Yeah. No, I mean we didn't even watch 12 episodes, right? It was like
7.
half of a 12 episode thing, 7, but it was a new world, so I think that it does always give us a fair bit to talk about when it's like a new world that we're seeing for the first time. So yeah, but I pretty much said everything I had to say. I'm a big fan of it. I love the characters. I love the dynamic. I think it's unique, and I can't wait to see not only what happens next fight wise, but maybe even more like how far they take it in their relationship and what level of unluck. Because we've seen such crazy things already, like crazy light cannons. We've seen meteorites. So how much crazier can it get? What if these guys just like touch for a day or something, like hold hands for a day because it racks up, right? I'm very excited to see what happens.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm definitely excited for the future of Undead Unluck. I don't want to read the manga just yet. I want to keep on watching for the time being. But then eventually, once the anime like catches up or whatever, or once this season is done, I'll probably read the manga, guys. 'Cause I do enjoy it.
And so we agreed that Attack on Titan movie will be for next time.
Yeah, I'm down for Attack on Titan.
All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in. And until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.
Bang. Although I don't know if I should do the Attack on Titan episode live on YouTube because we already did one on
No,
YouTube, so maybe we'll just do it
yeah, we
just
don't need
Twitch.
to. Either way.
So all the YouTube boys, make sure you follow us on Twitch and Spotify, Anime Virgin. Rank Cafe on Twitch, but Anime Virgin on Spotify.
Spotify and iTunes. Probably anywhere you can listen to podcasts.
True.
Briggs, you have time for chess or no?
I am down for a quick game of chess, my friend.
All right, let's do it.
Although I will not be able to see chat in the meantime. Actually, I lied. I could try to open chat here real quick. Oh no, it's green screened.
How does that work?
I guess I was using this display capture as a green screen, and so it took out all the green tiles from the chessboard.
Interesting.
Alright, gamers. Time to watch a game of chess between me and Gozen. I haven't really been playing. I had been for a while, and now I stopped, so we'll see how this goes.
I played with my mom twice,
Oh, nice.
so maybe I'm not super rusty.
Alright, let's go, dude.
Let's go. Oh man, you fuck. Oh man, I'm playing someone else.
Are you sure?
How did I miss that up?
It says you're in a...
All right,
Oh,
once I come back,
you're good.
and I always make a move so that I lose points on it. But whatever.
Fuck.
It's all good. Okay, how do I find it now again? Do I look at the notes?
It says you're aborting the game.
I aborted the other game.
I'm gonna request a rematch from you.
Yeah, request a rematch.
Did you see it?
Uh, uh, yeah, okay, I see here. Perfect.
Alright,
All right,
let's go.
and I'm white again. Perfect. This might be the first time YouTube's seen our chess.
I know, right?
Whoa, bro. Ah, Briggs. Briggs. Why you do shit, Briggs?
It's a good move.
Funny, with my mom, I was playing like no time limit, so this is so different now. After playing no time limit.
Yeah. I gotta play time limit. I'd go crazy waiting for people to make their moves.
What to do? Oh.
Hmm.
I don't know, bro. Oh, time's freaking me out. Okay.
Hmm. Yeah, chat for the YouTube viewers. Sometimes me and Goes and like doing a little
Little chest.
chess. Good move. Hmm. Taking too much time.
Dinner's ready.
Dinner's ready. I'm in the middle of something. I'll be down in a couple minutes. All right.
Yeah,
I'm going to preet anyways.
Okay.
It's still hot.
Damn. He's gaming, boys. Please stop spamming that, Giga. I can't force Nux to come to the podcast. Alright, well, I'm getting shit on here a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, fuck. I fucked up.
You're good?
Ugh.
Definitely got the pawn advantage on me here. Fucking hell. Ah. There we go.
Shit, bro! No!
You're gaming!
No, man! Crap. I really fucked up there. Oh, really fucked up bad there. Crap, bro. Ugh. Yeah. Too many mistakes on my end.
Wait, will this? You can still move. There we go. Whew.
Good game, bro.
I'm getting
I had
better.
6 blunders. 7 mistakes.
GG's, my friend.
All right. I got work to do.
Yeah, same. All right, take it easy, homie.
Peace, bro.
Later. Well, oh, thank you, Chadsworth. I miss Nux too. I mean, I've been talking to him a little bit more since I'm editing for him a little bit again. Maybe we could get him on an episode in the future, but he just time zones and shit. Although I think he's back on our time zone for temporarily. What was I gonna say? Yeah, we might be able to get him back for a little bit, but for the most part, it was just like when I had to stream with him, I had to stream it. Like, you remember he was doing those 12 a.m., 1 a.m. streams, and we like to do our podcast in the afternoon, so it just wasn't working for a while, but it might work for a little bit. Maybe we could get him back on an episode or two. I think it'd be fun. But anyway, boys, I gotta run. I'm gonna be live on my Twitch channel doing some Apex in a bit, and then, yeah, that's about it, boys. Later.